goes their way. Kelsey in Kansas City to dig out.
Nice throw.
That was awesome.
NFL Week 9 is a great example of why football is the greatest team sport on the planet and why quality skill position play matters. So we've got some new faces on this week's top 10 most hyped players going up, including my major learning lessons and all my eBay takeaways. So let's dig in. Number 1, the Miami Dolphins won an offensive shootout against the Chicago Bears in a 35-32 victory to go 6-3 on the season, virtually tied for first place in the AFC East with 2 other teams. Stay tuned for the rest of the video. Definitely very interesting. Tyreek Hill goes 7 for 143 and 1 touchdown, plus gets the W. He's on track to put up over 2,000 receiving yards this season. We're only halfway through. You can see his rookie ticket auto with that background kind of halfway removed. Best offer accepted here for $215 and a buy it now. Or his optic, first year that optic was made too in 2016. 223 out of 299, $100 and buy it now. And if you look at his graded card market and which cards are trending up the most, it's that Optic Holo PSA 10 up to a current trend of $153, a 42% change. What about that Tricolor Select? The Prism from 2016 coming silver out of the box there for rookies that year. Always a nice card, up almost 19%. And we could pop over to 130 point and look at the price increase from November 2nd to November 7th on that Contenders base rookie ticket auto. 150 to 215, nice little profit there. You could have argued that that guy could have held for that 275 as these cards are pretty rare. You can't talk about Tyreek Hill without talking about Tua Tagovailoa. He threw for 309 yards and 3 touchdowns, recording 5 big-time throws and 0 turnover-worthy plays in the process. At first review, it will be another 90-plus PFF grade for the young quarterback. Got to give a lot of credit to the quality skill position players in Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and the coaching scheme from Mike McDaniels. And look at this Silver Prism after-market event signed autograph here going for $550 and a buy it now, or a Panini Contenders rookie ticket auto base PSA 9, $800 and a buy it now. Shop that on 130 point and you'll find from November 1st to November 6th was a big difference, because here's a PSA 9 that's numbered out of 75 blue that sold for $500 and a buy it now, compared to the base on November 6th that sold for $800. Very, very nice increase there in the stock of Tua. And if we look at his graded card market and see which of those are going up the most, you can see that white die cut Prism here up to a new trend of $200. That's a 47% increase. Or this red die cut Prism PSA 10 going up to $525. That's a pretty impressive increase. Someone's shelling out $80 here for this Flamethrowers from Phoenix. After these last 2 performances from Tua, I expect we to see this trend continue here until we see otherwise. Hey guys, quick reminder, if you're new to the Football Card Quest, my name is Andy. You can unlock the full football card experience, including the web app you just saw to track football card prices on eBay, and the weekly articles, monthly giveaways, Discord access, to whole 9 yards. Check it out in the description below or at patreon.com/footballcards. Stay tuned. Enjoy the rest of the action. Whoa, wait a minute. Are the Bills actually human? The Jets are actually good? Well, I'll tell you one thing, the Jets defense is for real. Sauce Gardner is making a name for himself. He had 7 total tackles, 1 pass deflection, and 1 interception. Gardner has been an integral part of the Jets' defensive rebuild and closed out the upset of the Bills with a lockdown play over Gabe Davis. And you can see his black ink on card Pen Pals auto selling for $50 and a buy it now, or this Panini Black, which looks pretty cool with the Jets players. New set here released. RPA numbered 140 out of 199, closing for $65. Looking at 130 point, that's a 2-day increase of about 50% here, going from 44 to 65. Not much of an increase in that Black Ink Pen Pals Auto because it's been going about $50 there. But what's so impressive, when you compare the sold Sauce Gardner equivalent to the sold Garrett Wilson equivalent, you can see higher sold prices for the Sauce Gardner of about 50%. Here's a very similar black RPA going for $50 for Garrett Wilson. That was a $65 card for Sauce. Here's a purple ink Pen Pals from Garrett Wilson, which is more rare than the black ink. This one closed yesterday in auction for just $27 compared to the black ink Sauce that sold for $50. Pretty impressive for a defensive player, inching one step closer for Sauce becoming the rookie defensive player of the year. Number 4 most hyped player, Jalen Hurts, a familiar face to this list, and for good reason. They're the only undefeated team left. Now 8-0 after knocking off the Houston Texans. A little close in the first half of that game, but they pulled away in the second half. Dallas Goedert getting a big spotlight in this game. Jalen Hurts, though, at another 128 QBR against the Texans. He continues to ball out week in, week out. The guy has got so many tricks up his sleeve. You could see this orange mosaic sticker auto PSA 10 here selling for $950. Buy it now. What about this 2 out of 2? Now the seller, you could tell maybe they don't watch football. Jalen Hurts' jersey number is number 1, so it's not a triple jersey number, but this card was number 2 out of 2, selling for $3,500 in a buy it now. Look at the sell for Jason Kelce, die cut number 4 out of 5 from Select with the sticker auto, going for about $100. Guys, we are seeing hundreds of sold cards on a daily basis right now for Jalen Hurts. His stock continues to go up. His optic hollow market is currently about between $75 to $100. You could argue these people didn't have to accept these offers. $80 in a fixed sale price, $90 in a PSA 9 auction. So that card is right there, continuing to go up. There are higher reaches on a weekly basis where people pay up to get that card. Like I mentioned, a spotlight on Dallas Goedert from that monster game that he had. A lot of transactions popping off for Dallas Goedert after that. Look at some of these sold, buy it now solds from Saturday. Purple Prism Auto out of 35 for $80. What about the rookie ticket stub out of 88? SGC 9.5 Auto 10 for $80. Number 5, another familiar face. The man throwing the ball 68 times on Sunday Night Football, getting the win against the Tennessee Titans, having to air it out, but not making any big deep throws. Tennessee was playing very conservative, not blitzing Mahomes a lot, not letting him get off with the big play. So what he did is he chucked the ball a million times, made some very highly contested throws under pressure to help seal the win in overtime. He completed 33 of 45 attempts for 343 yards. And check out this National Treasures game worn RPA out of 99. Highly unlikely it was game worn, probably more like player worn, not from any game or specific event. Selling here for $4,700 in a PSA 10 buy it now scenario. Or this optic orange numbered out of 199 PSA 10 selling for almost $4,000 from Big Boyd Sports Cards in auction. And I will tell you, I see a lot of different transactions going off for Patrick Mahomes right now. His stock is starting to go back up. Look at his optic PSA 10. Back up to a trend of almost $900. The score is still selling a lot on a monthly basis, even though it's in a college uniform. You have 39 sales of that in the past month. Even the PSA 10 of his base Donruss cards closing yesterday at 12:07 p.m. for $975 in a buy it now transaction. Sometimes you just gotta get you a Patrick Mahomes rookie card with how talented that guy is. Number 6 is the rookie running back on the Seattle Seahawks. Now, one more game ahead in the NFC West. First place, the Seahawks 6-3 now. Kenneth Walker III continued his offensive rookie of the year campaign, gaining 129 yards and 2 touchdowns on 29 total touches, forcing 5 missed tackles along the way, being a critical component along with Geno Smith in that passing game. Those quality receivers and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Look at the score sticker auto here from Kenneth Walker III, closing for $56, non-serial numbered, base score set, and then the gold standard plain color patch RPA at a 199, closing for $92 in auction yesterday. And this is a major learning lesson, guys. Big takeaway. The Bailey Zappi base score sticker auto selling for $130. Now firmly on the bench behind Mac Jones. And the Kenneth Walker going for $56. What are you doing buying the Bailey Zappi at $130 when you could be buying the Kenneth Walker III for $56? EV stands for expected value. And in NFL gambling, sports betting, fantasy football, we want to make plus EV plays. Plays that we make that over the long run, over the course of the season, will make us money. And the same thing applies to sports cards. You're better off investing in one of the best skill position players in the league, especially as a rookie, than you are placing a bet on a speculative quarterback that may only start one game, and that's it. May not start another game for years to come. That's just a realistic possibility. So your Malik Willis's, your Bailey Zappies, your Sam Ellingers, and hey, I'm not impervious to it. I bought a Sam Ellinger. Now I'm stuck holding that bag. The Colts offense look like the worst offense in the NFL right now. Frank Reich, gotta go, right? I think he's probably already fired by the time I'm recording this. But that's just an example of making plus EV moves. Even in the sports card market, you'll be better off down the stretch in the season, or even after the season in the free agent time period and the draft hype cycle, whenever these players have a chance to get new quarterback upgrade, new team situation, the whole 9 yards, presents another chance to spike, make those plus EV plays versus trying to get real cute and fancy and speculative, thinking that just because they're a quarterback and they're young, they could spike big time. Yes, that's true, but you're better off making that play on a good athlete first and foremost. Number 7 hype player this week is a great example of a good athlete here in wide receiver Justin Jefferson. He ended up with a big day overall, even though he did fail to come up with several important contested catches, including 2 in the end zone that would have made the win much more comfortable. Mike Evans also had a couple drops yesterday, but the guy gets a massive target share, which is his opportunity. He's an incredible athlete, and more weeks than not, he's going to be able to convert that into these big spike games, and you can see as a result, there's sold transactions for his rookie yards on eBay in the thousands, guys, including base optic PSA 10s for $80, excuse me. Or what about this mosaic rookie autograph script sticker auto here, non-serial number PSA 10 going for $400. Number 8 is another example of the Jets rookie class continuing to star on both sides of the ball. Garrett Wilson made plays through the air, 8 catches for 92 yards on 9 targets. That's even without Breece Hall. That's against the Buffalo Bills defense. The Jets' ground game benefited Garrett Wilson because they punched the Bills in the mouth over and over again on Sunday. Michael Carter had his best game of the season with 76 yards on 12 carries, including 7 broken tackles. Michael Carter rookie card stock up. Garrett Wilson, National Treasure, Collegiate RPA, 38 out of 39, $66 in auction, certified. First off the line out of 10. Nice little patch there. 2 colors with some lettering or numbering, 154.50. Number 9, Travis Etienne, the new bell cow running back. We knew he was a stud in Clemson. This is why I wrote him up several weeks ago. Shout out to the Roach 85 because I think this is sold transaction here. Roach made him a nice double up on this Silver Prism autograph here that I think he sold for $75, $80, had listed at $98. And check out this select 1 out of 5 club level green disco here, going for $125. The Jags finally get them a win to break a 5-game losing streak. They rallied from a 20-7 deficit to beat the Raiders 27-20. Very impressive victory over the Raiders. Devontae Adams, spotlight for the Raiders, finally got a smash game for him. He was critical in my lineup on DraftKings that I'll talk about by the end of this video. Let's look at number 10 though. That's Joe Mixon. Guys, this was a laugher in downtown Cincinnati in week 9. The Bengals played as dominant as the first half we've seen all season, heading to the locker room up 35-0. It was the Joe Mixon show all afternoon. The run game had been spot on. Mixon had his first 100-yard game this season, and he did that by halftime. And he finished with 153 yards, plus 4 scores on the ground, plus an impressive reception for another touchdown. Whew. Check out this transaction of a optic green numbered 1 out of 5 here. Super rare eBay 1 of 1. Of course, best offer accepted for $70 compared to what they had listed were. That was pretty funny. And then this Joe Mixon, John Ross dual patch here. $349.99. Somebody just happy to sell some Joe Mixon cards, as like he said here, he's been horribly inefficient up to this game. He's been waiting in the wings, finally erupted here against Carolina. Another plus EV play. A ton of stuff selling and buy it now. Format for Joe Mixon between yesterday and today, like this optic out of 23, $120. A bunch of base common stuff. Optic, base Donruss, playoff. Look at Joe Mixon Leaf draft there for $15. The Prism Disco for $15. You know, a lot of rated rookies. It just goes to show you how popular these rated rookies are. There's a Pen Pals going for about $25. Someone paying for that autograph. Got the National Treasures. The Future Acetate. 14 out of 25 for 66. Nice little snipe there. My other initial takeaways and reactions. Thank God the Bucs finally get a win, snapping a 3-game losing streak. Man, it was an example of 2 anemic offenses. That offensive line for both teams not playing good, man. Geez. But classic Tom Brady game-winning drive. Stock is up for Tom Brady. Rashad White got more run in this game, and Cade Otton got that final game-winning reception. Maybe, just maybe, he could be the tight end replacement Brady's been looking for in Gronk. Maybe he gets some more game-winning touchdowns coming down the stretch. I would investigate his rookie cards. I think his stock is up from what I've seen. I'm investigating him. Slow the Tyquan Thornton hype, guys. We thought there was a chance because of the speed that Tyquan Thornton possesses and the fact that the Patriots went out and reached for him in the 2nd round. They're desperate to get that wide receiver position right. They would give him more run, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. They gave Lynn Bowden Jr. more time this past week. He also looks like he's clearly behind the depth chart of Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers, obviously, and when Devontae Parker comes back and is healthy, all of a sudden Tyquan Thornton again is a wide receiver 4-5. So slow the hype train on him. Maybe that will present some interesting buying opportunities for a long-term stash, but don't expect anything short-term. Interesting. Isaiah Spiller started as the Chargers RB2 yesterday in that close win of the Chargers over the Falcons. Stock is up for both Herbert, Eckler continuing to be a dominant RB1 on the season. But with Joshua Kelly landing on injury reserve 2 weeks ago with a sprained MCL, Spiller is now the RB2. That's roughly the role we expected him to take as the season started. He's kind of seizing that role. He's definitely a guy you want to look at potentially buying a rookie card on the low as a stash in case anything happens to Eckler. That's a bell cow role emerging there based on his college profile. Early returns from the trade deadline, man. You had pretty big weeks and roles from Jeff Wilson Jr. on the Miami Dolphins, taking a lead out over Raheem Mostert even, and TJ Hawkinson made immediate impacts on their new teams. Their stock are both on the rise from those trades and now their new roles. So something to keep your eye on. Rodgers, Green Bay, fall another game. Big time here, man. Age is catching up to these old guys here, right? This time to the Lions. We said last week, if they can't get their crap together against the Lions, now he potentially is losing Aaron Jones, who's week to week with ankle, and Romeo Doubs is going to miss significant time now with a high ankle. Not good when he was already depleted of wide receiver talent. There were several miscues in this game with Sammy Watkins, among other guys. Not good for Rodgers at all. 2 red zone picks, 2 red zone interceptions. Whew. With this, though, Kirk Cousins is now 1 game further in the Minnesota win over the Commanders. They're on a serious rise in the NFC North, but Kirk Cousins cards are still cheap because people are not yet convinced that he's the caliber of quarterback that can lead this team to the playoffs. But it's clear through the games that they've won this far, they are going to the playoffs in the NFC North. They're going to take it down this year, guys, and something you want to get out in front of. So expect as the week to go on, he may be involved in my Week 10 targets. Almost forgot, guys. I'm super excited to share with you my DraftKings results from yesterday, man. Hit big here in a $3 entry in the 50K pylons, 20,000 people. I finished 16th, baby. Let's go. $300 I took home. Had Justin Fields as my quarterback, smash. And this is a secret. Justin Fields has become a very elite rushing quarterback in the NFL. That's another major takeaway. Justin Fields matters. He is good. He's emerged as the best 2021 quarterback. Invest in him now before the prices get crazy by next draft hype cycle time period. Kenneth Walker III, you see my RB1. Travis Etienne, baby, Tyreek Hill, and that's a strategy. Bring it back with those Miami receivers. They go off week in, week out. Tyreek Hill making a case to be the best wide receiver in the league. Next, Stephon Diggs. Devontae Adams, still elite most weeks, plus EV play. More weeks than not, he is going to have these spike games. Josh Palmer finally got through here as the wide receiver 1 for the Chargers in what was a game against the Atlanta secondary that's like Swiss cheese. And Atlanta runs the ball, man. Cordell Patterson back in this game, putting up a big performance. Robert Tonyan was my only goose egg. If I would have just had Cole Kmet, who hasn't done anything all year, I would have taken down this tournament and came home with a 5K first place prize, but it's okay. This was my best finish all year. But it goes to show you, studying the game theory, because I'm going to look at my underdog props in a second. We were so close, but we made a lot of plus EV plays. You see, I had Mooney in here, stacked with Fields. I had the Jets defense going up against Buffalo. I knew there was going to be a nice little performance there based on how cheap that Jets defense was and how good those players are for the Jets defense. So come home with a big finish there, 231 fantasy points. And then look at my slips from yesterday. 2 out of 3, man. Getting so close on all these slips. Didn't get the pick from Mac Jones I was hoping for, unfortunately. Got 4 out of 5 in that game. Just didn't quite get the touchdown from Josh Jacobs. I nailed the Carr, nailed the Etienne, Adams, Lawrence, and Jacobs even got hit with a pass that was almost a touchdown towards the beginning of the game. Oh, so close. Didn't get the Mariota, Eckler, Herbert game there. It's close, but didn't get that. Didn't get the Detroit Green Bay game right. Rodgers ended up having to play from behind in this game. Didn't quite get what I wanted to out of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Almost had this game. Look at this. Missed this game by just 11.5 yards from Terry McLaurin, but hit the Justin Jefferson and the Kirk Cousins overs in that game. Got the Cincinnati game all wrong. That didn't play out the way I thought it would. Look how close I came in the Miami-Chicago game. This was my bread and butter game yesterday, so I parlayed that knowledge with Tua lower on the passing attempts, only at 30. Justin Fields, 51. 178. Mooney missed. I missed this slip by a half a yard from Darnell Mooney. Half a yard, but overall very plus EV. You guys that have access to those DraftKings Sportsbook, Caesars, MGM, you can see I did hit on all my picks. So tomorrow night, Steve and I are going to look at the best pick'ems for Thursday night, give you a look ahead at some of the best early lines, because they do have early lines that change throughout the week you want to take advantage of. And stay tuned for more goodness, more football card and fantasy football goodness, baby. And those are my big major takeaways from week 9. I'll see you guys soon. We've got a lot of content coming up this week, man. I'm excited about a lot of content coming up, so stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in that next one. Peace.